The question is, what if you're giving too much in a relationship? And then how do you know you're giving too much in a relationship? And that's a courtship, datingship, marriage. How do you know that you're giving too much?
Right.
So he's gonna break it down for you.
Yeah.
In
So
a nerdy way.
think about it scientific. We're both science. Don't act like she's biology. I'm math. Don't act like we both made her. All right. So the first law of thermodynamics, aka the law of conservation, says that energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. So I witnessed this because I've never been in a relationship like this, but I actually I have witnessed this in our relationship. Because when you left, you basically, because I was falling in love with you, and you left, we broke up, and that was hard. I felt that separation, that energy I gave, and we were transferring to each other. Think of it like if two plugs were plugged together and transferring the electricity current, and then you unplug it, it's just like whew, that power is gone. So that when you're saying the transfers of energy, then when you give so much in a relationship, you feel that tiresome, like you just gave so much to this person, and they just took all of it. Now, I'm not saying Sierra did that to me. I'm just saying we in our case, we were given, it was a nice flow, and when we broke up, it was just like, whew. But there's some people where all that energy is like a leech. They're sucking all their energy from you, and then you just have nothing. So then when you try to, they're like, hey, girl, let's go out. Let's do this. No, I don't feel like it. Or a guy comes up or a girl comes up to you, and they actually are being genuine or nice to you. You can't really see them like that because you're just so drained from that last relationship. That's why it's good to have that give and take, that balance in a relationship. If you don't, then one side is always going to hurt. You know, the other side is going to be positive, come out. I took all of that. I took all her power. I took all of his power. Now I'm going to go and have fun. You know, and it's not right. Like, you should not be in a relationship like that, you know?
Yeah. And when you are the person who's giving like 80%, and this isn't a healthy relationship, by the way, because I'm gonna break it down when it's different, when situations are a little bit different, because it's always not. People always say, "Oh, I'm giving 110%. Oh, I'm giving 110%," and yeah, you're giving 100. Hypothetically, you're giving 110%, but realistically, sometimes in a marriage, for our married people, you're giving it's a seesaw. It's not always balanced. It's a seesaw. Yeah. You know, sometimes I'm able to do more at the house. Sometimes I'm not. Right. Sometimes I'm able to be more present and hear and be more available. Exactly. And sometimes I'm not. Yeah. So then so you have to fill in that extra weight. You got to carry that to keep it somewhat level. You know what I mean? And in a marriage, that's what I feel that you have to continuously do. You still have to always do a balancing act. Okay? And it is not always going to be 50-50. It's just not. That's just life. Things happen. You have jobs, you have careers, you have kids, you have family, you have grandma, you have auntie, you have a world of friends. Like, it's just never always. Yeah. And so finding that balance, and the way to find that balance is great communication. Right. And that's via text, via Snap, via in-person conversation, I can't really talk about this via text, but I need to see you. Like, I just need to be around you. Like, you got to find some way to communicate more effectively, so therefore that person can really truly hear your heart. And then once they hear your heart, they can be like, oh, this is what you need, or this is what you want. Now, on the other flip side of it, people that are draining, they're just pulling, and they're just draining people.
Listen to what God says. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is the power of your hand to do it. If you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself a child of God, stop it. Yes. Stop it. Stop using people. Yeah. That person does not deserve that. If you're seeing them like just tired and they're not talking, they're that seesaw my baby was talking about is heavy. You're up here and they're just on the ground. They don't even have the energy to come up. Yeah. And you're ruined. And then say that relationship doesn't work. We gotta get to a point where we stop. We look at other people's point of view. If we're Christians, if we're a child of God, we have to be able to look at other people's point of view. We gotta be. We have to stop being so self-centered. Well, this person hurt me. It's my time. Look, that person hurt you. Right. The person you're with didn't hurt you. Right. Don't take your anger out on this person for the person that hurt you 5 years ago, or those broken relationships, or what your mama did, or what your daddy did. Don't take it out on another person. Right.
And then also the self-centeredness also goes where if you notice that someone that you really, really like or someone that you cherish is pulling away from you, right, before it's completely pulled away, try to attach to them and say, hey, I'm noticing something. What's going on? Like, talk to me. Yeah. Like, are we, like, and that's a friendship, relationship, courtship, marriage. Right. It's relational. And I think also we also need to understand that with our relationship with God is if you are farther away from Him, it's hard for you to.
Oh yes.
It's hard for you to figure out who you are.
Yes.
Especially if you are a Christian.
Yes.
If you are, the farther you move away from Him and His purpose for your life, the more you allow confusion, you allow different things to come into your walk where you're still trying to figure it out. Oh, well, what are you figuring out? Just go to the source. The source, the power source is God, right? He's the wall mount. Like, just plug into Him, and then you'll be able. Oh, okay. I can see this. Why I do this? Or I can see. Oh, I get it. So it helps you find a balance within yourself. Yes. Then if you find that balance, then you're able to balance other relationships and other things. Yeah. So it goes beyond. And it goes beyond.
Right. Because I mean, if we're saying this relationships leading to the ultimate goal of marriage, we have to be able to have some kind of balance before we say I do. Right. There has to be. That marriage will not work. It won't last. If you don't have a balance before y'all get married, because then how are you gonna serve God's purpose together? How are you gonna pass down your mantle to your children? True. You know, that's so important.
And then sometimes we know people who before they were married they were completely off balance, like woo, and then as they're married they're starting to unfold and unpeel certain layers, and you're like, ugh, who did I marry? Why did I marry this person? But you locked and loaded. You in that thing. You deep. You in that thing. So now you gotta figure out, okay, I gotta find a way to make this work. I gotta find a way to figure this out. Like, is it me? Is it him? Is it her? It's us. Yeah. We gotta find a way to see each other past our hurt, our pain, our unveiling of our ugly truths, that type of thing. Right. And so then once you do that, you're able to kind of like work through it together. And of course, we all hope to really know. You really don't know your spouse until you're married to them. Yeah. But you have a good picture of knowing who they are and what their intentions are. You know what I mean? Yes. Prior to getting married. And that's why you say, I do. Too, because you're like, oh, okay, we here. Like, you get me. Like, we won. You know what I mean? And I want to be one forever. You know what I mean? So, and then every relationship also has its own expectations and limitations. Right. That's life. Yes. That is life. Yeah. And it's because we are supposed to set up boundaries. Yes. You don't be living life all free and willy-nilly.
Talk to each other. Set up those boundaries.
Just all freely willy-nilly. Like, I'm talking to myself because, ooh, Lord. And I'm not even talking about marriage. I'm talking about in friendships. Oh, yeah. You can't just be all doing everything. Like,
can do everything. A text that comes out of us sometimes. You can't just be doing everything.
Willy-nilly. Just going and going. You get tired. That's another thing. You get tired and you get weary.
Life is short. Say you live to 90. Like, think about it. That's by 45, you're halfway there. And you just give all your energy to every little thing, and it's just like set those boundaries early. No. And when you're young, you could go, hey, let's go this way. Now, when you start getting to that 45, 30, like, hey, man, Like, it's already 9:00. Now I'm good. Like, well, I'll catch you 2 weekends. The next week I need to rest this week from that week. We're almost to that point. Like 1 weekend, man. We need like 2 weekends to rest from it. What we doing tonight? I don't know. You want to pop some popcorn?
Horrible.
Please just set yourself right. You know.
With those boundaries, there's always also you got expectations and you got limitations.
Right.
But we got another ation, which is appreciation.
Oh yes.
We forgot about that one.
Appreciation.
And the appreciation factor makes it's kind of like, I want to say, in a marriage, communication is key, but appreciation for me solidifies you really love me.
Yes.
Beyond just of what I do,
right,
and who I am. Like, you love me.
You're right.
You cherish what we have because you appreciate me, like little things. I'm gonna give you this example from me. I did not appreciate the little things that William did for me in the beginning of our relationship. That was just him, right? That's just him. So why would I need to say I appreciate that you do those things, or that these little extra things that he would do when we first got married? He still does it today, by the way. But I didn't appreciate it, and I had to look at myself. I had, hey. Guess what? If Will wasn't here, guess what? You gotta do all extra stuff. You gotta do all this extra stuff. It's a partnership, remember? Yes. So sometimes I'll be able to step in and help do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes I can't. And so we seesaw this thing out.
You gotta seesaw.
But I didn't show him that I appreciate him. And for me as a wife, I was like, I have to find a way to make sure he knows that I do appreciate him for the things that are seen and unseen. And anytime I have the opportunity to say thank you or I appreciate you, I say that a lot, but I say it intentionally because I don't want him to ever forget that I don't value him as a man, right, and as a partner in this world and this life that we got going. I want to make sure that he feels appreciated. And for my sisters, AS out there, we have to find ways to make sure that men feel appreciated. And yes, those little things matter because in the world it doesn't matter. They're invisible. They don't want to be seen.
We're a target.
We are target practice.
One of the two.
So when I say that, if you understand what I'm saying, you have to make sure that they feel appreciated. And those little things matter. And I know in our busy lives, we do have very busy lives, but there's so many things. I was just sharing with a friend. There's so many other little things, especially in this quarantine times, that we can do. And it's simple things. Send food, send a card. Little things that you could do like we used to do back in the day. Way back when in the 1990s. That we have completely just not done because we have technology now.
Right.
But also through technology, you can still do those things. Yeah. You can still show that you appreciate them. And for my men, your wife is at home doing everything. And you just get dressed, go to work, and do your stuff. And you come home, and it's clean. Hopefully, praise God. And if it's not, that means she's been running around with the boys and the girls all day. The kids and the kids. And don't be a teacher on top of that. My God. I pray, y'all are special. The teachers that are parents that are teachers, I pray,
yeah.
I give it to you.
I get to think about doing my job with a kid.
I give it to you. Because, my God, that is just...
Or 2 kids, or 3 kids, or 4 kids. I hear them in the background.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So, we appreciate
And I got to say, my appreciation. Because my baby. Right here.
Oh, gosh.
Because she probably don't even realize what she does for me. She always like, well, yeah, You do a lot for me. You just don't realize it. The small thing. One day I can be here for an hour. So one day I want to point out, I'm a counselor. All right, school counselor and everybody. Like I'm not the guidance counselor to sit there and talk about. No, sometimes I have to get to some real deep issues with my kids.
Very deep.
And that's draining. That's draining. That's draining. But this woman right here always knows when it's not the right time to talk to me. She knows, like, hey, let's give my man, let's give him a few minutes, collect his thoughts. All right.
I had to learn that though.
Or two, if we need to go somewhere and she knows that, hey, this is just not right, she'll step right there and be the queen she is and take charge, and she'll be the vocal person, because she knows at that moment I might not be the best William I could be. But I'll try my best. But sometimes if I just had
your best is just sitting there,
right, and just
and being there,
and try to smile and joke and stuff. Yes. But sometimes my mind is thinking about, is that kid okay? Because I can't concentrate.
Right.
But she's right there to step in there and be that person in front. She has no problem being taking the lead and charge when I can't. And I thank you so much for that, baby. Because sometimes I can't, because of the career I got,
Yeah.
And
you're welcome.
That's why I'm saying we gotta show each other appreciation.